Judge wiped the smile off Barack Obama's face with this jaw-dropping ruling. Barack Obama spent the last 2 years gloating. The former president believed Donald Trump had failed to fulfill one of his signature promises. But then a judge wiped the smile off Barack Obama's face in a jaw-dropping ruling. On the campaign trail, Donald Trump pledged to get rid of Obamacare. Once in office, he tried to make good on his word. But he found that the establishment Republicans who had spent the last 6 years mouthing words about repealing Obamacare were liars. At first, the House Republicans could not scrounge up the 218 votes necessary to move the bill through the chamber. Finally, in May they passed a repeal and replace piece of legislation. The Senate was expected to approve this bill, until the late John McCain strode down the Senate floor and stabbed Trump in the back with his thumbs-down vote. From that point on, the GOP's Obamacare repeal efforts looked dead. Barack Obama and his cheering section in the fake news media celebrated the GOP's failure because the crown jewel of his socialist agenda appeared entrenched. But they ignored one case making its way through the courts. As part of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, Congress reduced the individual mandate penalty to 0. This penalty was the thin reed Chief Justice John Roberts clung to in 2012 when he wrote that the individual mandate passed constitutional muster because of Congress' taxing authority. But now that the tax is 0, conservative activists are once again suing to strike down the mandate as unconstitutional. And they just scored a huge victory in their first step to wipe Obamacare off the books. U.S. District Court Judge Reed O'Connor, who sits in Fort Worth, Texas, handed down a sweeping ruling. Not only did he rule that the individual mandate was unconstitutional, but he also threw out Obamacare in its entirety. Judge O'Connor ruled, in sum, the individual mandate is so interwoven with the ACA's regulations that they cannot be separated. None of them can stand. President Trump celebrated the victory on social media. Trump tweeted, "As I predicted all along, Obamacare has been struck down as an unconstitutional disaster. Now Congress must pass a strong law that provides great health care and protects pre-existing conditions. Mitch and Nancy, get it done." He continued, "Wow, but not surprisingly, Obamacare was just ruled unconstitutional by a highly respected judge in Texas. Great news for America." Barack Obama raged about the ruling on Facebook. The former president ranted that Americans must vote the Republicans out so his socialist scheme can remain in place. But all of this should also be a reminder that Republicans will never stop trying to undo all that. If they can't get it done in Congress, they'll keep trying in the courts, even when it puts people's pre-existing conditions coverage at risk. The only way to convince them to stop trying to repeal this law, and start working to make healthcare better, is to keep voting, in big numbers, in every election, for people who'll protect and improve our care, Obama exclaimed. This case gives Chief Justice Roberts one more chance to redeem himself and do what is right. He twice upheld the constitutionality of Obamacare. In 2012, he ruled that the individual mandate was constitutional. And in 2015, he ruled that the Obamacare Medicaid subsidies were also constitutional, once again rewriting the law. Conservatives struck out on their first